When writing your instructions, you want to make sure they are as clear as possible. One way you can do that is to use callouts and offsets to be able to show your builders exactly where you want certain parts to go. That's what I'm going to be discussing in this video. If you're unaware of what an offset or callout is, I will give you a quick explanation. A callout is when you have a submodel within the page of the instructions with an arrow pointing to where you want it to be placed in the model. An offset is when you have the placement of the brick offset from the rest of the build. Again, with an arrow pointing to where you want it to be going in the instructions, just like here. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to do both callouts and offsets in your instructions. Before I get to that, I want to remind you about the Studio Lego Designers Facebook community. I'll put the link in the description below. We are getting lots of new members every day, and there's great conversation going on. It doesn't matter whether you've just started with Studio or whether you're an expert and have been finding new ways to use it. So definitely, if you're interested, come on over and join in the community. So first thing you're going to need when you're doing a callout is a submodel. So let's put a few bricks out. And a couple more here on top. And we'll take these two bricks and turn them into our submodel. What you want to make sure is if you're going to be making a call out to have the submodel in a step by itself. Now that we have that done, we can go to the instruction maker. You're going to click on page design and go down to the page that has the submodel on it and click on it. On the right hand side, you're going to have the convert to callout option. You click that, it's going to open the next page and it's going to have your submodel within a small box and an arrow pointing. And you can drag the end point of that arrow. You can also change the origin point if you wish. And that's going to show where the submodel goes on your design. Within that small box, if you click inside of it, you will have options like you would normally have in a step to rotate the model or flip it. You can also change the scale of the box to make it easier to see what's going on inside of it, especially if you have small parts that are being placed. And you can change the camera setup as you normally would. If you're going to want to have multiple callouts within a single page, you're going to want to put all of those submodels in the same step. So let's clone this so I can show you what I'm talking about. Now we have those 4 submodels all in the same step. We will go back to the instruction maker, page design again, and down to the page with the submodels on it. And now we have the 4 times showing us that we need to do this particular step 4 different times to create those submodels. And again, we will convert to callout. Now we have our box and it's showing that we have this particular submodel 4 different times, and we can drag the arrow and the origin point around. And I will say, when you have a multiple callout like this, it's easier just to drag the origin points around and then click the arrow beneath, because it sometimes is a little tricky to get that arrow underneath the other arrow. It somehow masks it so that it can be a little bit frustrating if you haven't moved the origin point. So you want to set your arrows up nicer than this, but this gives you an idea of how you can do it so that everything goes where you want it to go. There we go, that looks a little better. Anyway, so this will give you an overview of how to do callouts. Next, we're going to move on to offsets. Typically, you're going to be using offsets when you have a brick that is obscured by other bricks in the instructions. So let's do that here. We'll put that one and then there. And now we will go to our instruction maker again. Page design. Go down to the page where that brick is. Normally all I would do is change the angle so you could see where the bricks need to be placed. But for this demonstration, I wanted to show you how to do the offset option. So you're going to click on the brick, click Activate Buffer Exchange, and you will get these arrows that pop up. By clicking on them, you can move that brick around, and you can see that an arrow connects from the brick to its origin point. You can also manually change the numbers. In this case, we would like our z-axis to be at -80, not +80. And that brings our brick onto the other side. And just to clean it up a bit, we'll move that arrow around. There we go. So that is now a nice easy way to see where that brick should be going on our design. There are lots of options with the arrows for both the offsets and the callouts. For instance, if you wanted to show that this brick was being removed, you could change the start and the end of the arrow to reverse the direction of the arrow, as well as showing where obscure bricks can go. Offsets can also be used to show where a pin will go into a pinhole to connect two parts of the model together or things like that. You can offset multiple bricks if you click on the bricks that you want while holding the control key and then click the Activate Buffer Exchange. Notice now I have two arrows pointing to our bricks. If we only want one of them, just click on one of the bricks and click off of the option to have its arrow displayed. That was a quick look at how to add callouts and offsets in your instructions to make them easier to follow. So I hope that helps you out. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about how to use the brick palette more efficiently, so join me for that. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share this video around any who you think would find it useful. Thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. Keep dreaming in bricks. Bye-bye.